Hi, good evening, guys. Welcome to CantileverLabs. I can see that people have started joining in. We have 100 plus students coming in. Welcome, Akash. Welcome, Suhail. Just let me know in the comment section if you are able to hear me or not. Hi, Vintesh. Thank you for showing so much of energy. Welcome on board to this even live mock interview session today that we are having. I hope you guys are doing well and are staying safe due to Corona is spreading. I hope you guys are doing well. Just let me know in the comment section that I'm audible and you all are staying safe. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for confirming this because this is very important, right? So you guys would know that today's session is about live mock interview, right? So we'll be starting as soon as everyone comes in, but then I would like to also give you an introduction about what mock interview is. And let me introduce myself. I'm Kasturi Kaushik. Now you would ask me what actually is mock interview, Kasturi? Why are we even here, right? So uh, mock interview is nothing but it is an interview that we create. It is an environment that we create scenarios and situations just exactly like a typical interview. So I think a mock interview is very important so that it can help you reduce your stress, boost your confidence, and you can get a constructive feedback about what went wrong in your interview, and you can actually prepare it for yourself in the actual you do not make the same mistake in an actual interview, right? And there are some tricky questions and answers that the mentor today in our session will be teaching you guys, because there's just one point that actually helps you clear the spot, win the spot, because you can see the questions are similar, right? In every interview, if there are 20 students, the questions are same, right? But what happens is only 5 or 10 of them get selected. Why? Because those are very tricky questions that are being asked, and it depends on how you answer that. So this is why we are here with CantileverLabs today, hosting a mock interview live session for you guys. So let me just go ahead and tell you what actually CantileverLabs is doing. Okay, so just give me a second. Let me know if you are able to see my screen. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry I was unable to share my screen, but there due to some glitch. However, let me go ahead and tell you what actually Cantilever Labs is doing. So Cantilever Labs is basically based out of T Hub, which is in Triple IT Hyderabad. And what are we doing? We have basically two motives. One is bringing corporates to colleges. Recently, we had a driving event with Oro Pocket, which is a blockchain startup. So we are trying to bring the opportunities for you closer to you guys, because there's a huge gap between colleges and corporates. And then second, we are trying to develop those skills that you actually have, right, but you are one step backwards, or you just need a little guidance to move ahead and brush those skills. So this is what we are trying to do at Cantilever Labs. We have had many regular events with different mentors across the country, and we are also having we had few mock interviews. This is our batch 7 for our mock like interview. So that is why we are just trying to brush your skills. Okay. So also we, as we promised while we were doing this, that there would be some surprises for you guys. But for that, you have to, stay tuned till the end. And because we have few surprises that will be mentioned till the at the end for you guys. I think that would be very interesting. And let us know that if you are excited about it. Okay, so one of those, I'll let the surprise out. One of those will be few toolkits that we're going to share with you. One is a toolkit from TCS Digital Toolkit, and other will be a resume binder. So why do you need it? Like, why you would ask us today, this is a mock interview live session. Why do we need it? Okay, so basically what happens is resume, because if you want to go to the step where you're actually preparing for your interview, you would have to be first get selected for the interview call, right? For that you have to submit your resume. So you should actually have a very strong resume, right? Resume. For that, well, you have to have a strong resume. So we have accumulated so many resumes for you from across the country. Yes, right, exactly, Harshvardhini. Right. So resume should be first screen so that you have to be able to get selected so that you can go to the other round. Yes, exactly. So we have collected few resumes. I would be try to show it to you guys. So I would try to show it to you guys, but you will be getting it eventually. But you have to wait till the end to get the toolkit, right? Or else you'll miss out the chances of getting the toolkits. So resume minder is basically where you have so many, like 100+ resumes from colleges like IIT Madras, Roorkee, and even from top 3 to top 1 colleges, right? And the other one is TCS Digital Toolkit, which has 4 indexes basically. The first one is about TCS, because we have seen that students are very interested towards applying for TCS, but they have no clue how TCS works, how many branches they have. Like, they have very different departments, right? TCS is very different departments. So the first index will have all the details about TCS, and then we have 2 sections where we have questions about coding, and then we have questions about DBMS tool, because this is a very favorite topic that TCS asks. So our mentors have collected few questions across, like from so many years. So we have, accumulated them, and we are pretty much sure that if you go through it, at least you will be able to, do 80% of those questions. And we are sure that those questions might be there in your next exam. So stay tuned so that, we are able to give you the toolkit at the end. I think that that should be helpful to you. And let's move ahead and let me tell you more about CantileverLabs. Okay. Cantilever, as I mentioned, that what we are exactly doing, I have given you the objective about CantileverLabs, right? So I think you will be supporting us in that. And secondly, Cantilever Lab is not just doing events. We are, official training partners, placement partners of colleges like IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee, and we have successfully placed students, like 49 students at Deloitte, TCS, your favorite TCS, and Value Labs, and there are various other companies that we have placed our students at. And they are not just from IIT, but they are from colleges like BITS Pilani, top tier 3 colleges, and across the country, like more than 27,500 students have been connected with us over the years, and we have been successfully able to place them. So just let's move ahead and let me no more suspense. Let me introduce you to our mentors. First, we have Rishti Mamtani today here. We have had few events with Rishti before. She is our shining star mentor. So yes, she is. Let me just give you a brief about who Drishti. Hi, Drishti.
Hey, everyone.
Okay, so I'll just show the index right now to you guys. This is the index. As I was mentioning you'll get the first one about TCS. Second is interview rounds. Third, frequently asked coding questions. And the fourth would be frequently asked DBMS question. So you can go through this, okay? And the other that we have, just a second, I'll show you guys the other so that, no more suspense. Okay, so this is the resume binder. If you're able to see that, this is our resume binder that we have. So this is the resume binder we have. We have, so many. I cannot go through all of them right now because there are so many resumes here. If you can see, like, because resumes are very important, right? As someone mentioned, that screening is done first, and there are so many things that you have to tell about yourself, but you cannot. So resume is a perfect place to, mention everything about yourself, but very precisely in a very short format. So this is what we have here today for you guys. These are the toolkits, but stay tuned till the end. And let me just show you what else we have. And as I mentioned, we have successfully placed so many students across the country. And these are few of the testimonials by Sarvesh Mehtani, who has been here. He's from IIT Bombay. As I said, we have mentioned we are the training official partner with IIT Madras. And we also have a video about him, and this is Sanjeet. He is a career cell head at IIT Madras. This is what he has to say about Cantilever. I think this is quite long, but he would like to give it a read. And this, as I said, we have Cantilever lab students at Gitam, Anurag colleges. We have successfully placed them at Deloitte, TCS, Capgemini, Value Labs. And now we are like going back to Drishti, who I just said hello to. Hi, Drishti. So, okay, yeah, let me just
Hi,
quickly.
Kasturi. Hi, everyone.
Because she would be like, she just said me hello, and like, she's not talking about me. Okay, so Drishti is a software engineer at Google. She was an intern and the data science team. She was also with Amazon paid team, and she's also graduate from BITS Pilani in data science. She has done a major in data science. She has also worked in various projects like you can see it, software aging, text summarizer, and she has done a lot of various projects, and she'll tell more about herself. She likes to teach apart from this, like mentor students. And the next show topper is our mentor Sranj Jain. Hi Sranj, welcome to CantileverLabs.
Hi Kasturi, hi everyone.
Okay, so Shreyans is also an analyst. He's at a Bain and Company. He's with Bain and Company, and he is also a graduate from BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. But he has done his major Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical and Communication, Electrical and Electronics Engineering. He has also worked in various projects like altitude prediction, telecom sector, and I think he'll be the right person to tell you more about it. So I'll just give it to the mentors about what they would like to say about it in the event. Thank you. All over to you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Kasturi. So, hello, everyone. So, today, what we are exactly going to do is give you some interview tips, give you some things that you should keep in mind while you're interviewing. And also, we'll have two mock interviews. One would be where I'll be interviewing Shreyansh, and the other would be where Shreyansh would be interviewing me. We'll solve various theoretical questions. We are going to solve some problems as well, and we are also going to do live coding. So let's get started. Kasturi, can we start now?
Yes, absolutely. We can start.
Okay. So I'll probably share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, Drishti, we can.
Yeah. Okay, so we start off with some interview tips, but do post your questions, whatever things are coming to your mind. And even if when during the mock interview, whatever answers you're getting, do put them in the chat so we can have a healthy discussion. And let's now get started. Over to you, Sranj.
Hi guys, so before we start off with the mock interview, a couple of things to keep in mind, obviously. So there are two very important things. First thing is to listen very carefully. Now, this I realized while I was preparing for interviews. So initially during my college life, I had a habit of answering as soon as I can. Like as soon as I hear the question, I have to give the answer. But uh, during preparation, what I learned was that's probably not the best thing to do. You should first hear the question, process it, let it settle, give it 1 minute of thought if possible, and then probably get back to the interviewer if you have some clarifying questions, and then go ahead to answer. It's always important to listen very carefully. You should never jump to solutions directly, because if you give it some time, you will obviously have some questions that you need to ask the interviewer. That actually helps in another way as well, because it gives, if you ask clarifying questions, it gives the interviewer some insight upon which direction are you thinking upon. But then again, that being said, don't blabber things out. Drishti,
Yes,
we can
I
move to the
agree.
next slide.
Yeah.
Now, next very important point, I had only two main points that I wanted to convey. Was first is listen very carefully, and the second one is think aloud. Now, this I noticed with many of my batchmates, and we improvised that later. That once we were given the questions, we asked clarifying questions, everything went well. But when it came to the solutions, we just stopped, put our head down for 5 minutes, and then started doing the question. No, that probably is not the right approach, because that 5 minutes of silence kind of kills the interview. It also does not give the interviewer an insight upon what you are thinking. So if you kind of, while you are working the problem, if you tell the interviewer, okay, so this is what I have thought and this is what I am going to do, your approach, that would kind of help the interviewer understand the direction in which you are thinking. And if you're even thinking in the wrong direction, they can probably help you and point you in the right direction. That being said, I'll again say, don't blabber in the interview. Don't say the first thing that comes to your mind. Just think what all you want to tell the interviewer, and then go ahead and say things such that it does not create an confusion.
Yeah, that's correct. So thinking out loud is really very important because you need to tell the interviewer what you're thinking, what are your problem solving skills, because they are there to judge that. So you should definitely tell all the approaches that are coming to your mind, and also how are you analyzing the approaches and then going to the right solution. So I agree with Sranj. And now we can get started. So first of all, can we start with the mock interview? Is everyone ready? Can I get a yes or no in the chat? And yeah, so do put a yes or no in the chat if you are ready. Yeah, and yes, the session, so basically both the mock interviews will be of 15 minutes. We'll have two mock interviews, and whatever questions are coming in your mind, do put them in the Q&A section. Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
That's really awesome. So let's start. So the first mock interview would be me interviewing Sranj, and we'll have a few questions, and whatever answers you also know, do put them in the chat. And let's see how Sranj does. All the way best, Sranj.
Thanks a lot, Trishti.
Yeah. So let's start. So Sranj, could you first tell me about one of the projects or internships that you did in your college?
Yeah, Drishti. So I worked in an NBFC called as Lending Cart during the third year of my college. So the project that I worked there was to improve their operational efficiency. Now, to be more specific, when you approach Lending Cart for a loan, they ask you for certain documents. They had a model which kind of suggested that you have to ask this document from this customer. What I worked upon was improving the efficiency of that model.
Okay, which was the model that you used?
So they were earlier using a rule-based model. I transformed it into a logistical regression model.
And what was the evaluation metrics that you were using for logistic regression?
Yeah, so I created a confusion matrix and then used accuracy as the evaluation metric.
Okay, so so there are other evaluation metrics also that could be used for specifically classification problems. Which are those?
So I could use precision recall or even S-score.
So could you explain me what precision is?
Precision is basically the true positives divided by the predicted positives. Recall is the true positives divided by the actual positive classes. Whereas
And what is
F-score,
F-score?
F-score is a harmonic mean of precision and recall.
Okay. And so you use logistic regression and you use evaluation metrics as accuracy. How could you have improvised the model? And first of all, was the model giving you decent results?
Yeah, so I was able to improve the accuracy of the model by 15%, which translated to saving up to 16 hours per head in the team per month.
Okay. And anything that came to your mind that you could have used to improvise your model?
Yeah, since the time was limited in my internship, I did not get time to apply a extensive feature selection, but I believe in the experimenting phase that we used, feature selection would have improved the accuracy of the model for the 5 to 10% more, which would have reached around 90%, which would have been a lot good.
Okay. Okay. And also, so you said you could have used precision recall or F-scores, right? Yeah. Okay. So that seems interesting. Let's move on to the next few questions. So, Sranj, you code in which language?
I code in C++.
Okay. So let's say I want to print hello
Okay.
in C++. How do we do it? It's cout, then hello, and then a semicolon, right?
Yeah.
But let's say I don't want to use semicolon at all. In no line, I want to use semicolon. How I'm going to print hello without that semicolon? Semicolon is very important in C++. It kind of ends the statement, but maybe that key is missing. Yeah, maybe that key is missing in my keyboard.
Okay. Can I take a minute to think about it?
Yes.
Thank you. So, fair enough. So, what I think is that, can I use a ternary operator or if condition?
Yes, definitely.
Great. So in that case, I'll probably use the if condition. What I'll do is basically write if round brackets open cout hello, the entire statement, then close the round brackets, and then open and close the curly brackets. So in this case, I would not require to use a semicolon.
Yeah, that's correct. I see some people have also answered it in the chat. Okay, so moving on. So let's say basically a man is allocated a task. Okay. Now he doubles the task done every day. What I mean is, let's say in 10 days, the person has done, let's say 40% of the task. So by 11th day, he would have done 80% of the task.
Understood.
Let's say if the person has done 12% of the task in 6 days, then by the 7th day, he would have done 24% of the task. So that is, he's doubling the task done. Now, let's say if the man completes the task in 18 days, how many days would it take him to complete 25% of the task?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just reiterate the question so that we both are on the same page.
Yeah.
So a man completes some amount of task in some time, and the next day he doubles the amount of tasks that he had done till that point.
Yes, correct.
And he completes the task in 18 days. And I have to find out that how much time will it take the person to complete 25% of that task.
Yes, correct.
Right. Can I take a minute to think about this?
Yes, sure.
Okay, great. So the first thing that comes to mind is that if he is doing X amount of work on day 1, then he'll be doing 2x work in day 2, 4x in day 3. The first thing that comes to mind is it seems like a GP 1, 2, 4, 8, etc. But looking at it from another angle, if we look at it this way, if he completes 100% of the task in 18 days, right? So that means he would have completed 50% of the task in 17 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. That means he would have completed 25% of the task in 16 days.
Okay. Are you sure?
I'll just recheck my calculations. Yeah, I believe the answer should be 16 days. He would have completed 25% of the task in 16 days.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Before that, I'll ask everyone, whatever answers you're getting, to put it in the chat. Okay, so the next question is, you have 5 jars of pills, okay?
Okay.
Now, each pill weighs 10 grams,
okay,
right? Except for a jar which has contaminated pills. So basically, there are 5 jars. In 4 jars, you have normal pills, whereas in 1 jar, you have contaminated pills.
Okay.
And the pills actually weigh 10 grams, but the contaminated pills are going to weigh 9 grams. Are we clear till here?
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, one jar would be there having contaminated pills, and all the pills there would be weighing 9 grams.
Okay.
Now you're just given one measurement to make. That is, you're given a digital scale, and on that you can put any number of pills, right? Now, how could you figure out from that one measurement which jar is the jar which has contaminated pills?
Okay. Okay. So I'll just reiterate the question again. So we have 5 jars of pills, of which 4 jars have normal pills, which and each pill weighs 10 grams. Is it
Yes,
safe to assume that there are many pills in one jar?
yes,
Like,
yes, correct.
okay, that's great. And one jar has contaminated pills in which all the pills are contaminated
Yes.
and they weigh 9 gram each,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Great. The next thing is that we have a digital scale and we can perform only one measurement in
Yes.
which we have to determine which jar has the contaminated pills,
Yes.
right?
So how will we do that?
Yeah, the okay. So the first thing that comes to my mind is that we need to find some way to differentiate every jar so
Yes.
that
Yes.
we are able to understand that. So let's name jar 1, jar 2, jar 3, jar 4, and jar 5. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'll just take 1 minute to think about my approach.
Sure. Everyone, do put in the approaches that you're getting in the chat.
Okay. So I think I have an approach. What I'll do is that I'll take variable number of pills out of every jar. Like I can take 2 out of one jar, I'll take 3 out of another jar, and then
How is
weigh
this
all
going to
of,
help?
yeah. So I'll weigh all of them together, and the difference between the expected weight and the actual weight would kind of tell me that, okay, which jar had a problem. To simplify it further, what I'll do is that suppose from jar 1, I'll take 1 pill. From jar 2, I'll take 2 pills. Jar 3, 3. Jar 4, 4 pills. Jar 5, 5 pills. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, so the total number of pills over here is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, which is 15 pills. Right. So the expected weight, if everything was fine, should have been 150.
Okay.
Right. So 150 grams should be the expected weight. But now when I weigh these, if the weight comes out to be, let's say 149, that means one pill had a problem. That means jar 1 has problem because I took one pill only from jar 1.
Okay. Okay.
If
And what
148,
if the weight is 146?
146, then 4 grams is the difference between expected and actual. That kind of means that jar 4 had the problem because from jar 4 we took 4 pills.
Okay, that's nice. That's
Yeah.
a good approach. Okay, Sranj, do you know the depth first tree traversals?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so can you tell me the 3 types of depth first tree traversals? What are they?
So they are in order, pre-order, and post-order tree traversals.
Okay, so I'll share my screen and I would like you to tell me the in order, pre-order, and post-order traversals for this particular tree. Just give me a second. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, a very simple tree.
Okay, just a second. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll get started with the in order tree traversal.
Okay.
So for in order, what we do is that we first transverse through the left subtree, then we move on to the root, and then we transfers through the right subtree. So over here, what that means is if we transfers through the left subtree, that is the subtree which has root as 2. So the order would be 4, 2, 5, then 1, then 3.
Okay. What about pre-order?
So for pre-order, what we do is we look at the root, then left subtree, then the right subtree, right? So in that case, the root comes first, that is 1 will come first, then we move on to the left subtree. So over here also root will come first. So 2 will come first, then 4, then 5, then the right subtree. So that would be 3. 1, 2, 4, 5, 3.
Okay. Okay. What about post order?
Now for post order, what we do is we first traverse through the left subtree, then right subtree, and then the root.
Okay.
So over here, what it would translate as 4, 2, 5, 3, 1.
Sure.
Sorry, I just noticed it would translate to 4, 5, 2, 3, 1.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Okay.
Yeah.
That seems good. Now, also, can you tell me what's the difference between object-oriented programming and procedural programming?
Yeah. So the difference between the main two differences between object-oriented and procedural programming are within procedural programming, the program is divided into small parts called as functions, whereas in object-oriented programming, program is divided into small parts called as objects. Yes.
So you're talking about object-oriented programming has objects.
Object-oriented programming has objects. Procedural-oriented programming has functions. Object-oriented programming follows the bottoms-up approach, whereas the other follows the top-down approach.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So which of the programmings models the real world?
Object-oriented programming models the real world.
Because it has objects and classes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that seems good. Thanks a lot. And I would say that you were taking your time, thinking for 1 or 2 minutes, and then you were telling your approaches. So it's good that you first think and then you explain your approach. So you're doing that well, and hopefully seeing you in the next interview. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're done with the first mock interview. So do put in your comments like what did you think, how was the
guys?
interview? How actually Sranj performed. You can even tell that.
I hope good.
Yeah, definitely. You were able to answer all of the questions, so that was good. And one thing that I definitely liked was you were first taking some time to think about it, gathering all the thoughts, and then speaking up. So that's pretty good.
That's what, guys. It's very important to first think and then answer. I learned it the hard way, actually. It took me some practice to perfect that, but yeah, now I make it a point that think and then speak.
Okay. Okay, one more question. So if you were the interviewer, are you going to hire Sranj? I would. Yeah, don't worry. We have coding questions as well.
Yeah, we have coding questions.
I could have also asked Sranj, and probably we'll do some coding as well today. And yes, you also would be doing the coding. So we'll have the live coding, and you could also do the live coding with us. Okay, so over to you, Kasturi. Do you want us to start with the second interview right now, or do you want to take over?
Something between.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I would definitely hire Sranj. I suppose. I guess. Okay. So yes, you are hired, Shreyans. I don't know about Drishti, but I'm going to definitely hire.
Yes, I would also, and I see most of the other people would also hire.
Yeah,
so that's great.
He was very calm, and I think you were also very good, panelist. Okay, so as we have talked a lot about mock interview right here, right? So, and I have also talked about resume binders and everything. But nowadays resumes have been taken over by another social media, which is LinkedIn, right? So what happens is nowadays people are more into LinkedIn. What happens is we have a resume, we put it on different sites for the company to look at it, but it hardly happens because they have so much of resumes piled up that they do not have the time to look at it. But LinkedIn is such kind of a social media that you actually scroll, you actually Google that person before hiring, and look at his profile, and then have a look at it, and make a sudden judgment. Okay, this is what have it also has a different timeline, right? So yes, LinkedIn has taken over resumes nowadays. So what I would like to say is that we have a small activity for the people right around here. So I would just share my screen and explain it to them. However, this activity is because we want you to have help you in every step of the day, not just mock interview, right? It's not enough, right? You have to first get selected. So we do have a resume binder for you in the toolkit, right? So we would also want you to have a nice LinkedIn profile, your personal branding, that okay, this is Rishti Mamtani, intern at Oracle, not me, but yeah, definitely you who have done it. So you have a very strong LinkedIn profile and it's quite impressive, right? So we want our students to also have one, right? So this is why we are having a small LinkedIn activity. If you could see my screen, students, this is a LinkedIn post. We will be posting the link in the comment section. You just have to go to this post on our LinkedIn. So if you don't have one, this is your chance to create one LinkedIn profile and drop down your questions, because the mentors today that we have here is going to pick up one of the most liked comments, which has the the question that has the most like. Because what happens if you like that question, it means that you have the similar question, right? What happens is sometimes we have the same opinion in the comment section and we just like that comment because yeah, this is what we were thinking the same, right? And when you see the comments in the comment section, so you know that okay, these people are here in this event and they are also looking for something similar, they are also preparing for mock interview. So you can connect with each other. They are the kind of like-minded people here, like-minded people here, right? So this is why we are dropping down the link in the comment section about our LinkedIn post. Just go to our LinkedIn profile and then drop down your comments. We have, and at the end, Drishti will pick up all of the questions, and even Sranj would and answer all of your queries, right? So just go ahead to our LinkedIn post, which will actually look like this as I am showing it in my screen. I hope you guys are able to see the screen, right? So this is the post that we have. Please go ahead, and also don't forget to like each other's comment and add them with each other. You'll start growing here. At least even if you have 10 people added to your LinkedIn profile, it means that you're active on LinkedIn. It's your digital resume kind of sort of thing. So what happens, I like LinkedIn personally because it showcases your skills. You can actively search jobs. It's not just that people companies do not even post jobs nowadays on their website. It's mostly there on their LinkedIn. So yeah, you should also have a active LinkedIn profile. You can have your own personal branding, your own identity, connect with all the like-minded people. So we're just waiting for you to go to our LinkedIn post, comment down, and then waiting for our mentors to pick up all of your questions. And after this, you can take one more question. So we'll get a time in between through which students can comment on our LinkedIn post.
Yeah, I can see a lot of questions coming
in so
the chat
just
here.
drop
So,
those questions on our LinkedIn post. So just it's done. Oh, thank you, Kamesh, for letting us know that you have commented on our LinkedIn profile. So everyone just add Kamesh also, who has commented on our LinkedIn profile, and add each other, and make your own community. So you can go ahead with the other mock interview. Rishi. Meanwhile, I hope that students ask all of their questions on our LinkedIn post.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, you can add our mentors as well. They have a really cool profile on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay. So I was also going through LinkedIn and checking what are the comments. Yeah.
Right. Definitely.
So don't worry, we'll answer as many questions as possible. One that I found out here, Sranj, was It was basically, does it lead bad impression if you ask time for interview from the interviewer to think about? It definitely doesn't. But yeah, you shouldn't take 5 to 10 minutes. You should take
Yeah.
1 or 2 minutes to think and then gather all the thoughts, maybe write down the pointers and then start speaking. So you definitely can take time, but yeah, take 2 minutes, or even if 3 minutes, then that's fine, but not more than that.
Yeah, to that point, I agree totally that see too much time always leads it should not feel like it's a silent session. It should feel more like a thoughtful conversation, the interview, in a more formal sense, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
keep
Okay,
that in mind.
Rishi, I'm sorry. I can see that I'm really excited. I can see that we have comments coming up on our LinkedIn. So this is why I just, wanted to put up a poll for the students so that, they can answer here as well and we can understand them better about what they want from you guys in future.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we will have a poll for just like quick 30 seconds or 50 seconds. Guys, do let us know your feedback so that we can, customize our upcoming events accordingly. Okay, we have so many answers coming up. So okay, thank you guys for showing so much of enthusiasm and energy tonight. It's already 8:40, and you guys are showing so much of energy and coordination that we are actually loving it. We'll come up with more such session that is going to help you. So this poll is just to understand you guys more better.
Okay, so let's get started. Should we wait for some time for story?
Yeah, just give us 20-30 seconds, and then you can
Yeah.
get started.
Yeah.
Guys, Rishti is waiting for you. So, just quickly, answer the poll so that she can get started.
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous as well.
Oh, I don't think that you need to be nervous.
Okay.
You have hosted few other events, right? We have so bright students here. Yeah, I think you should go ahead. We'll just end the poll now.
Okay. Yeah, Sranj, let's start.
Rishi, let's get started. Don't worry, you don't need to be nervous. I'll give you a simple question. I hope it should be simple for you. Yeah. So
Okay.
why don't you share your screen and open the Cantilever portal so
Yeah.
we can get
Okay.
started. So before we get started, which language are you most comfortable in?
C++.
Great. So why don't you
I'll
open
go
the
to the
CL
CL.
compiler
Yeah.
and just search climbing stairs.
Okay. Yeah, found it. Oh, hard level.
Well, you are a Google software engineer. You should be able to do that.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah. So basically, I'll explain you the question first, then you can go through it. And in case of any doubts, just we can clarify that, right?
Okay.
So the question is fairly straightforward, that you have to find the total number of distinct ways you can climb up a staircase. Suppose, best I give you an example. Suppose there are 3 steps in a staircase, and yeah, there is one constraint for sure, that you can take 1 step at a time, or you can take 2 steps at a time at max, right?
Oh, okay.
So if a staircase has 3 steps, in that case you can climb one by one, that is 1 plus 1 plus 1. The next way could be you can take 2 steps at a time and then 1 step, that would be 2 plus 1. And the third way would be you can take 1 step at a time and then 2 steps. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1, or 1 plus 2. These are the
Okay.
3 ways you can climb up a staircase with n equal to 3, right?
Okay. Okay.
So that is the question. Just go through it once. If you have any issues, just tell me. And after that, you can probably explain your approach. And in
Okay.
the meantime, guys, you all, everyone listening to this or watching this should also comment what do you think is the best approach to solve the problem.
Okay. So for n is equals to 2, answer is 2. For n is equals to 3, answer is 3.
Yeah.
So I'll first try to figure out what's the answer for n is equals to 4.
Mhm.
So basically the question says that given an n, we have to find out the number of distinct ways in which we can climb to the top. Okay. So just give me a minute and I'll try to figure out. Maybe it's already done. Yeah. So let me try to do it. So for n is equals to 4, I'll figure out the distinct number of ways. Give me a second. Okay, so for n is equals to 4, the answer is actually 5. I'll also write it in the write it here.
Yeah.
So for n is equals to 4, then ways are these. Okay. And yes, so there are 5 ways in which we can reach the top of n is equals to 4.
Yep.
Okay, so basically what here I find is that to reach climb stairs of n, that is to figure out that is how many ways are there in which we can reach the top of n, what we can do essentially is figure out the previous two values, that is climb stairs of n can actually be equals to the climb stairs of n minus 1 plus climb stairs of n minus 2. I can see that from here as well. So basically for 2, the answer is 2. For 3, the answer is 3. And for 4, it's basically the answer of 2 and 3 summed up together. So that's 5. So this would be my approach first.
Fair enough. Please go ahead and quote this.
Okay. So can I ask you, like, what are we taking small values of n or large values of n here?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Trishti. So for now, you can assume that there are small values of n.
Okay.
But that's a good question, yes.
Okay, so basically first is that when n is 2, what we are returning is 2. When n is 1, we are returning 1. So those would be my base cases. So I'll first write my base cases. It's C plus plus, yes. If n is less than equals to 2, I just directly return n. Right? And now what I need to do is I apply recursion to basically I want to find climb stairs of n. So for that, I need the previous two values, that is climb stairs of n minus 1 and climb stairs of n minus 2.
Yeah.
I can also explain you why I'm actually doing this, but first let me code it. So this is what would be the answer for climb stairs of n. And I'll return this directly. I could have first put it in a variable and then return the variable, but this is also going to work.
Okay.
So
are you sure this is going to work?
Yeah, for small values of n, it's going to work. It's a recursive approach, so it would.
Why don't you go ahead and run this?
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, so for first test case, it's showing something. Just a second, let me see. If n is less than equals to 2, yes, it should return n, and it should also return for n is equals to 3, for n is equals to 4, it should. Yeah, I think this is the right solution. Let me just run it again. Yeah, oh, maybe a compiler error.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to submit it as well. Oh, yeah. So this works.
That's very good, Drishti. So now since you mentioned that this would work for small values of n, why don't you explain why this would not work for big values of n? And in the meantime, also please do mention the time and space complexity for this.
Okay, so the time complexity would actually be exponential because here we are using recursion. The space complexity, if we don't take into consideration the recursive calls, it would just be O of 1.
Okay.
Also, this is not going to work for large values of n. The reason being because the time complexity is exponential. So for large values of n, it is actually going to give time limit exceeded. So that's why this works for small values of n, but not for large values of n.
Fair enough. So now, what if we want to implement this for large values of n? What could you do? What would you improve the efficiency of?
So basically, I'll actually use an optimization over recursion, which is actually dynamic programming. So I try to do it, basically convert this approach that I already know of into just dynamic programming.
Okay. And why don't you go ahead and code that?
Okay.
And
Okay.
would love if you could explain it while you're doing that.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, I'll tell why are we actually doing this. So for n is equals to 2, our answer, one second, our answer was 2. Basically, there were 2 ways. For n is equals to 3, our answer was this. That is 3 ways. Now, for n is equals to 4, our answer was 5. The reason being, we are actually, so basically to reach n is equals to 4, there are 2 ways. One is coming from n is equals to 3, other is coming from n is equals to 2. So for n is equals to 3, if we come to n is equals to 3, we know the number of ways in which we can reach n is equals to 3. And to each of the way, you just add a 1 at the end. And in this way, you're actually going to reach n is equals to 4. So these are the 3 ways in which we reach n is equals to 4. The other thing is, if we reach n is equals to 2, that is the number of ways in which we reach n minus 2, we can just add a 2 at the end because that's what is allowed. And then in this way, we can also reach n is equals to 4. So that's why I'm summing up these values. Now, the same concept I can apply in dynamic programming also. Again, the base case would remain the same. So basically, I'll have a vector or I can have an array as well. Let me name it as dp, and the size is n plus 1.
Okay.
So now I already know my first 2 values, that is, let's say dp of 1. So dp of I actually stores the number of ways in which I can reach I. So dp of 1, we know it's 1. We know dp of 2 is actually 2.
Yeah.
Now what I'll do is I'll have a loop starting from 3, because I need to find out the answer of dp of 3, dp of 4, and so on till dp of n. And then go till n, and then increment it, and then find out dp of 5. As I explained in my approach, we are actually using the previous 2 values, that is dp of I minus 1 and dp of I minus 2.
Correct.
And so I'll just add these. And obviously now I'm not going to return this because I don't need recursion now. And now I'll just return dp of n. Why I return dp of n? Because it would store the number of ways in which I'm actually going to reach n as the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Why don't you go ahead and run this?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, let me submit it as well. Yeah, okay.
Great, amazing. So do you think we can optimize this further? And all the people watching, please do comment whether you think that this code can be optimized further.
Just give me a minute.
If so, then how? You also think, and everyone watching, please do comment how.
Yes, I think we can optimize it. Give me a minute.
Okay.
So actually here the time complexity is O of n and the space complexity is O of n. What I can do is optimize the space. I actually don't need a complete vector. I can just have two variables in which I store the answer.
Correct.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and code this?
Okay. So as I said, we don't need a vector. We just need the two previous values. So instead of actually using a vector, let me declare few variables A, B, and also let's say a C, which will actually store the sum of A and B. And then instead of dp of 1, which is the number of ways to reach n is equals to 1, I have it as A. Similarly, I have it as B here. So these are my initial things. Again, the base case remains the same because for this we cannot do anything. My loop would also remain the same, but here, instead of writing dp of I, I'll actually store this in C. So basically it would be C is equals to the previous two values, that is A and B added together.
Okay.
Now, so now what we need to do is for the next iteration, this will work for the first iteration. So just give me a minute. Let me do a try run for this and then see what else I need to add. So basically A is 1, B is 2, and now my C becomes 3. In the next iteration, I want to update A. This should become, so basically the B value should actually become A, the new A. And also I need to update my B. So these are the two things that I want. Either I can do it beforehand or I can do it later. So what I'll do is A is equals to the previous B value and B is equals to the previous C value. And in the next iteration, again, we'll do C is equals to A plus B.
Okay.
So then I return a C because C is going to store my answer. Give me a minute. Yeah. So in this way, I have actually reduced the space. I'm not using a vector or an array.
Fair enough. Why don't you go ahead and run this and make sure that you comment out that part?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, let me run it. Oh, yeah, it works.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So can we interchange in the last section of the for loop? You said B is equal to C. Do you think we can interchange that to C equal to B?
No, the reason being we want to get the new value of B. So here what would happen is I want this C, which is my answer, to actually become the new B. And now in the next iteration, my A would be 2 and B is equals to 3. And now what I want is C is equals to becoming A plus B, that is 5. And then again, in the next iteration, do the same.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good enough. So I guess we can end here, Drishti. Thanks a lot. And also one last question. So can you tell me the space and time complexity for this?
Okay, so the time complexity is O of n. The reason being, we are actually just using a loop and it's dependent on n. The space complexity, since we're not using anything, we are just using some variables. So it would be O of 1.
Correct. Great, Drishti. It was a good round. You answered everything very promptly. Hopefully we see you in the next round. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So do you think, guys, Drishti should be selected? I think you should be. You answered everything correctly.
Oh yeah, some of them are actually saying that this is a Fibonacci series. Yes, this was actually a Fibonacci series according to me as well. Yeah.
It was.
The only thing that I felt was tricky here is to figure out that this is actually the recursive formula is this. So otherwise everything was simple.
Yeah. And either of the three approaches I think would be acceptable. So that's great.
I think you both are selected. We are actually hiring you for CantileverLabs. Come join us.
The next
There's
role is
no
there.
Yeah, let's call you to CantileverLabs. We actually do have some experts here. So we have already talked about, as you have been through this session, we have talked about resumes, we have talked about the toolkits that we are providing, and we had a great session, like a mock interview right here. So we have also come up with something for the students here who have joined our event. As we said, we are going to keep on revealing the surprises. So you have one more surprise for the students. So I would like to call Sagar sir here, who would be able to explain further about the event, like the surprise that we have. Sagar sir, please come up and explain the surprise that we have for the students.
Yeah, just a second. Perfect. So I hope, like so far, all the participants have learned so much. Like it was supposed to be an insightful session, like where mentors are like giving us a lot of knowledge, but it went out to be an like we went into that role. A lot of questions asked from Drishti to Sranj to Drishti, both of them hired. Okay, it was great knowing that how actually the interview takes place, how to get into someone's brain, how to try to think, take a pause. A lot of nitty-gritties that you explained was really insightful. Before I would like to just uh, give a surprise to all the participants who have joined the session. So I'll be sharing my screen. I hope it's visible. Yeah, perfect. So now that all of you, like Drishti and Shreyansh, both of you have explained like so much that what actually like interview is, and in the entire journey of this is like a marathon, right? You try to compete with a lot of lakhs and lakhs of students. You crack the aptitude test, okay? Then you're called for an interview, okay? And then interview is also like you come to know that it's a series of steps where first you get a call from HR, you get phone call, telephonic interview, then technical round, and then the final interview, and then you get the final offer letter. Most of the participants who have joined today's session, have might have like recently given the thesis exam. Okay, hopefully, like most of you have like done well in that exam. And the final crucial step, everything boils down to how how you are addressing this particular final round, that is the interview round. So what I'm here to do is I'll be telling you about we have crafted a very beautiful course for all of you, and this course will ensure that whatever nitty-gritties have been whatever steps, whatever nuts and bolts of this in order to make you win this interview round, in order to make you confident. Okay, we have crafted this beautiful course, and now exactly what is this course about? It's a very short course of 30 hours, yet it is complete as in like it will cover all the aspects of interview preparation. Now whatever Drishti and Shreyans have explained so far, it has covered like right from the resume scanning, like what is the first touch point, like whenever you apply for any job. Okay, the first thing is like your resume has been is viewed, it has been analyzed by the interviewer. So we'll be doing a proper how to create a master resume, then how to ace any interview. So this is a very special video that we are having in this course. And moving ahead, like as today we all know that LinkedIn is considered as one of, like, you're the face of companies will judge you, assess you on the basis of not only your resume, not only on the basis of how you interact in the interview, but also on your the strength of your LinkedIn. A lot of companies, they have guesstimations, so you need to know what is guesstimations. Okay, how to crack case studies, what are case studies. So we have included case studies as well. Now, a student, Sarvesh Mithani, who was All India Rank 1 IIT JEE Advanced, he was groomed by CantileverLabs, and we're very proud enough that he has cracked the All India Rank 1 and got mentored from us. And this video, very special video about how an interview is being conducted, a mock interview between All India Rank 1 and our CEO of CantileverLabs. You can learn a lot of things from this particular interview. And what we have is if you take this course, okay, apart from the opportunities which your colleges are offering or you're finding it online, we have a dedicated jobs and internship portal. We ensure that we collect all the opportunities for you and we provide you in a very simplified manner. So we have a job and opportunity board where you can find like good amount of options where you can apply. And one of the interesting part that we do is we have live placement drives. So every month we'll be having some of the startup, okay, who will be coming and we'll be pitching about what are their requirements, like job description, and we'll be having startup funds. So a lot of students and candidates, like recently when the session was started, Kasturi might have mentioned that recently we have done a live hiring drive with a startup called Oro Pocket. So all of it, when we encapsulate this beautiful course, will help you in each and every dimension in preparation of your interview, in your journey. Now, apart from this, as this is an year end, we have something very special, okay, and we call it as a bonus bundle. Now that, okay, fine, like you learn through videos, but there are a couple of special, crafted videos that we have included in this bundle in this course. That is 25 plus mock interviews. Now we have been training into multiple IITs, NITs, BITS, and all our experts have interacted with thousands of students who are aspiring to get into different domains, right? From finance, consulting, product management, analytics, data science, and many more. So similarly, you might be having a lot of like aspirations to get into different companies. So you have crafted good amount of mock interviews from where you can learn a lot of things. Now these mock interviews have not only like these are like around 40 to 50 minutes interviews where a mentor is interacting, like as you have seen now Sranj and Drishti have recently like showed you a small, I would say, gist of what happens in that interview. But it is a very much exhaustive interview where a mentor is trying to understand what are the knowledge gaps of a candidate, what are the mistakes he's making, what are the tips and tricks to overcome those things, what is the psychology, and there are a lot of things that you can learn from those videos. So we have crafted 25 videos from many domains. And now that you have seen in this recently, like okay, everything boils down to how strong your technical skills are. Apart from the soft skills that you have, your technical skills need to be very, very strong. So we have a dedicated practice environment where you can practice more than 100 plus questions from which are these questions are mainly curated from the questions which are mainly asked in different interviews, different companies. So we have curated all of it and we have like given it in the practice environment where you can code, practice, make mistakes, learn from them, and discuss in an environment, discuss with the mentors. And any doubt that you have, we make sure that we try to resolve it as soon as possible. So we have 100 most likely questions and we have special toolkits. Now, whenever you read, you go through a topic in a learning process, what happens is you watch a video, but in order to, let's say, uh, like last minute what you need to do is like you need to revise it, right? So you need something which will a synopsis or notes which you can revise in a very easy format. You just go through it and you remember it. So the last moment tips and last moment, let's say, to face that, overcome that situation, we have special toolkits. So concept wise we have fabricated it, like we have just segregated it. Now I'll be taking you to the dashboard, I'll be taking you to the course structure, how it looks like. So once you purchase this course, okay, you will be getting this dedicated environment where you can see in the overview section what exactly are the topics covered. Okay, in the video section, in the learning section, you can learn from all the videos that you're going to get the access about. But these are not just the videos, but apart from these videos, at any point you face difficulty, we have on the top like a Discord channel, a Discord community. At the same time, every student will be added to in a group, in a WhatsApp group who purchase this course, where they'll be nurtured with a mentor, with the help of a mentor. So as I've told that we have like 100 plus questions. These are the total number of questions segregated in very systematic format, depending on the difficulty level, depending on the category. So let's say your array is strong, but your graph is weak. You're good at fundamentals, but your advanced concepts like dynamic programming, okay, then there are greedy algorithm and dynamic programming. Couple of topics you're weak at, so you can practice according to your understanding. Let's say not by difficulty, not by category, but you want to prepare according to what the company requirement is. So we have curated a couple of questions according to the company requirements. So we have covered TCS, and there are similar different companies which you can come and practice. So apart from this, the mock interviews that I was talking about, where you can learn amazingly well. You can go through the videos. Each video is very much exhaustively, taken. And after every single line, there's a lot of learning. Like when I watch myself a couple of times, I try to understand the psychology behind why this question was asked purposefully. So like podcast, like you generally spend time on a lot of like YouTube and all. These videos are very much important, I would say, and you can learn tremendously from these videos. Now, apart from that, let's say if you want to book your mock interviews and you want to get the access. So I'll be talking about this. And every week we add one question paper. Okay, one question paper, one quiz is added every time, and you get to practice it. So we make sure that you are constantly in touch with this interface, and you practice it regularly, so that not only your soft skills are like building, you're trying to also trying to be very agile in your answers. So a couple of times the interviewer will ask you that a situation, you'll put it into a situation, you need to dissect it very well, you need to understand it and put it in numbers. So how well you break down the question, so you can just or practice this questions quizzes. Now coming back to the presentation, all of this, okay, all of this you will be getting for 1,499. Now there's something missing here. Now in 1,499, if you use this coupon code, that is CantiBoost, okay, right now by the end of the day, if you use this coupon code, you will not only get this course but also get your mock interview one-on-one with a mentor. Okay, so if you want to know the nitty-gritties, if you want to get yourself assessed in and out, if you want to know, now, like a lot of times in 1 hour session, it is very difficult to explain very minute details of what happens in an interview. So just to give you like a gist about what exactly happens in an interview, there's a detailed analysis done on your knowledge gap, like how you're trying to frame questions, how you're trying to answer a particular question. Your resume analysis is done. The best tips and tricks. Interviewer knows exactly how you're going to make the mistake, where you're going to make the mistake, how you can overcome that. So those things are very much told to you here. And apart from that, your profile strength, like how strong your profile should be, uh, the problem solving ability. Okay, so you can boost that here. The strength and weaknesses section, the most weak part, like many times you don't know what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. Okay, so you need to get a reality check from a mentor. You need a mentor who can help you, who can understand what are your areas, and most importantly, the psychology of interview. Many a times we fail before even entering into the doorstep, before even entering into the interview room. So the communication skills, lot of it will be covered if you take the course. If you take the course, and I'll be sharing. So this is a limited time offer, as it's an year end. We want to make sure that we give the best value to our students. We completely believe that we win when we make our students win. So if you use this coupon code, that is CantiBoost, I'll be showing you like how you exactly can use it. For example, like this CantiBoost, CantiBoost, you just have to come here on the like I'll just log out so that I can simplify your journey. You just have to visit CantileverLabs website. I hope moderators are helping out in the chat box. You have to click on the interview preparation course. Once you come here, okay, you can simply choose this plan, that is advanced package. And in advanced package, you can click here and like put the code as CantiBoost. The moment you put it, okay, you get the rolling offer. Like this course will absolutely be for 1,499 rupees, where you will get complete analysis. You can go through this part, and not only like the bonus of the features that we are having, the special features is like you will get yourself a very much dedicated mentor. You'll be taken through a career counseling session to understand what are your goals. So we have a very goal directed adaptive approach in order to help a student, any student. Now different student will have different journey. The knowledge gap will be different, but we need a very much personalized and a very a plan which will nurture them according to their knowledge level, knowledge gap. So we will cover this all of it. I'll come back to the offer. If you use this coupon code as CantiBoost and seize this offer for tonight, okay, you will be getting a very mega discount, and the price will be for 1,499 rupees. Okay, I have shown you the interface where you can how you can use the coupon code. It is very simple. Now let's say you are very confident at, or you don't want to get mock interviewed, your mock interview done by one-on-one mentor, but you want to go for a course, like a simple course. You want access to the dashboard. You want to go through and learn from the videos. You can simply grab an offer. Okay, you can use a coupon code called as CantiCrack, and you can get a mega discount. You can get an 85-90% discount on a course, and you'll be getting it at only price at 349 rupees. Now, I would recommend you people to seize the offer, but I would not, honestly, if you ask me personally, I would not recommend you to go for just the video course. But I want you to people, all of you, to get yourself mock interviewed by the expert. So today we have Drishti Amtani. You can also get a chance to get your mock interview done from an expert who is coming from Google. Now imagine like how many lines of code she must have written, okay, to get into Google. How much of practice and dedication it might have taken to get into Google. So a mentor coming from Google is trying to assess your profile, is trying to help you out in what your knowledge gaps are, is trying to help you out in a 1 hour session. So I would say honestly, like if you want, like if you want to comment in the chat box, tell me whether this price, how decent is it. None of the college will hardly put this effort. Like 1,499 is a very affordable price, guys, and it is a limited time offer. So just use it. Like there are two coupon codes, Canty Crack and Canty Boost. If you want to boost your career, if you want to be that rocket, okay. So we are here with this coupon code, and we're here to help you out. Canty Boost to get yourself mock interviewed and the access of the course. At the same time, what difference it is, like we will be giving you a premium, access of our job and internship board at the every single step of your journey in this in the journey of finding the placements. Will be helping you in a very dedicated way. So make sure you take this opportunity, seize this opportunity. Canty Boost for the advanced plan, where you will get one-on-one mock interview, and Canty Crack if you want just the course, just the dedicated access of the course, where everything is covered apart from getting yourself mock interviewed. So I hope you people are excited. If you have any questions regarding the course, okay, you can ask. The first 25 participants, as I can see the count, as first 25 participants will get the lifetime access. At the same time, will get an opportunity to grab the access of the jobs and internship board within guided path, with the guided learner, the guided access to, with the support. So make sure you're seizing this opportunity. If you people have any questions, I'm happy to address it. I'm happy to take any kind of questions. So just one question to mentor like Sranj and Drishti, like during your preparation, if you would have got this all of it encapsulated in a course in a very in a very proper way, okay, and with this particular offer, what would you have been done, like what would you have been done like in the similar situation?
I would have obviously taken it, to be honest, because unfortunately at my time, by the way, I was also helped by Cantilever itself.
Yeah.
They came down to the campus, but unfortunately you guys didn't have this kind of an offer then. Otherwise, I definitely would have taken it, because the simplicity of this is that this is 1,500 is kind of an investment. You invest this to get a better offer or get a better placement than you could have gotten anywhere else, because this program definitely develops you, especially the one-on-one sessions. Those definitely help a lot. And by the way, I paid a lot more at a different place for this kind of a thing during my preparation. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Sranj. Like, sorry to know that you were not having the offer, but anyways, uh, so any questions if you have, I can address. Otherwise, Kasturi, we can proceed with the session.
Yeah, so I think that Saga sir, we have few questions coming up from the students that how to enroll on this course. So I think you can answer them. That you can go. We have the link in the comment section. You can just enroll through there. And I think Sagar sir has explained well about the coupon code. That could you just comment down the coupon that the students can use so that they can get the offer. Yeah. And thank you, Shreyansh, for mentioning that you didn't get the coupon code. I hope, but you're still placed at a very nice company. Rishti is there, and I think Cantilever was there at Bits Pilani. And please, if you have any queries, students related to this course or anything else that you would like to ask Rishti. Okay, so I personally love this course, and even Rishti and Shreyansh had a personal look at this course that because it's all in one place, like you do not have to take multiple courses, right? A course for mock interview, a course for like for coding or aptitude, everything is there at the same place, right, Saga? So you can get everything at one place. And I think Drishti would be one of the mentors, and she would be one of our top mentor, who with whom you can have one-on-one session if you couldn't have it here, and get your boost your confidence and get a positive feedback on what to do on your next interview. As Sagar sir has mentioned, there have been students who have given TCS, and I think most of you might have cracked the written round, so it's next to to get prepared for your technical round. So this is where it the main role comes in. Even if you're talented, you don't know what to do in your mock interview, you'll be just wasting all your preparations. So just go ahead, take the course, because this is valid for a very limited time. This the offer actually expires tonight, so it is there for like till midnight. So you can just go ahead and purchase the course. If you have any questions related to the course, I think Dhananjay Kumar, someone from our participant, has purchased the course. I can see a personal message. Thank you, Dhananjay. Welcome to CantileverLabs. Just let us know in the comment section if you have gone through the course. How did you like it? And I hope that others also join our CantileverLabs family soon, because this offer is expiring. And this is, as Shreyan say is mentioned, it is a small investment for a long time, right? So I think that Rishti will answer a few of the questions that we had left for the students, that students had left. I think we have a question. What is the duration of the course? Sagar sir, please, comment down in this section, comment in this comment section, so that students are, aware about it. And then we can move ahead with the questions that the students had. So, Mama, Rishti and Shreyansh can decide among themselves and answer those questions accordingly.
I think, Sranj, we can get started, and we can see the questions here and on LinkedIn and try to answer them. So
Yeah,
the first
definitely.
one that I have is I have zero coding knowledge on coding questions because I'm a management student from MBA. But I observed that how to get rid from tension and cool answering for questions. Yeah. So basically, even if you have zero coding knowledge, you can start. So basically, the first step is to get started. What you should do is learn a language, decide the language. I also saw that there's one question about language, which language to select, whether C, C++, Java, or Python. So I would suggest is try to learn C++ or Java. My third preference would be Python. Don't use C because you don't have STL there. You have to write the code for queues, stacks there. So my preference would be C++ or Java and then Python. And start with a language and then slowly build your knowledge basically on data structures and algorithms. So start off with arrays, then move to strings, then start off with hash maps, and in meanwhile you start learning some algorithms also, like greedy algorithm, divide and conquer algorithm, and all these you can find on the portal as well. So you can start from there. The first step is difficult, that you need to start, but once you get started, you'll slowly eventually learn. Yeah.
I see one question on how do you apply think loud feature here while you, that is Shreyansh, is thinking. So basically what I recommend is that it comes with practice. Initially, what you start off with is that the target is to have a conversation while you are working. What you start off with is you take some time, you take like a minute to think, Then you tell your approach, what you have thought, work down till the point that you have thought, then tell again. By the time that you are obviously writing the code or thinking of the puzzle, think about your next step, tell that next step to the interviewer, then again start working. Once you get used to it, after a certain point of time, it becomes like a second nature that you are kind of thinking while you are working. It becomes habit, but it comes with the practice. You need to practice these things.
I also see one question from Tejasvi. What if we back off from answering a question? Will that leave a bad impression? So, see, if you are not able, if first the interviewer tells you a question, first thing that will come to your mind is, I can't do this. But take your time, calm yourself down, think about the question from all the different approaches. Like try to figure out whether can I use this, can I use this, can I use this. I used to have a checklist. Can I use stacks? Can I use queues? Can I use vectors? So I used to have a checklist. So try to think about it and again try to explain whatever is coming into your mind after you've well thought of it, and try to see if you're able, not able, like if you're able to do it or not. Um, so first, give it a very, very hard try. Like the interviewer should understand that even if you're not getting the answer, you're trying all the ways, you're trying to solve it. So try to do it. And if you're not able to answer after that, then definitely you can say, sorry, I'm not able to answer this, or I won't be able to answer this. But yeah, before this, you should do all those things. And yes, like it is not the case like in 10 questions, if you just don't answer one question, you'll be rejected. It's basically your overall interview. It's not about one question. So it won't leave any bad impression.
Yeah, and getting overwhelmed is very normal. It used to happen to me a lot. Having an action plan in the interview, I'll go irrespective of what the question is. I'll have a checklist prepared. Like I'll do this, I'll do that. That kind of a thing always helps rather than getting overwhelmed. Oh my God, what will I do now? So that is avoided when you have a plan.
So Vishnu has the question, how can we overcome the question, why should we hire you? So now, obviously, you get a lot of answers to this online, but I would say have your own personalized answer for this. So basically, I actually used to focus on my strengths. I used to say I'm flexible, I'm willing to learn. I like to. I am basically capable enough to adapt to any situation. I have a lot of theoretical knowledge which I got in college, but now I want to implement it. I want to do something which actually creates an impact. So these were things that I used to tell. But again, it was personalized for me because that's what defined me. It should be the same for like try to figure out what are your key strengths and then say those as the answer for this.
And alternate questions which have the same answer are, how are you better than others? Why should we hire you? Tell me something about yourself. All of these questions have similar answers. You just need to tune it according to the question, but the content is the same. Basically, it's the sales pitch that you need to give about yourself, that
But yeah, it should be personalized to
why
yourself.
are you special? What have
Yeah.
you done that makes you deserving of that job? So have that pitch prepared from the start.
And you should be confident about it because if you are confident, then only you can convince the interviewer. So know your strengths and then put them pretty well in the interview.
Next question is, how do you approach if you don't know an answer? I guess Drishti, we already covered this.
Yes,
If you don't know an answer, yeah, it was the same question. What's the best way to learn aptitude related questions? This was also asked by the same person. Uh, so the best way to learn, honestly, I was very bad at aptitude. I'll be very honest about that. It only comes with practice. It only comes with practice. Having a kind of a sheet where you write down tricks to certain types of questions always helps, but again, you need to practice these things. Once you start practicing, you'll start enjoying it, and then it all becomes easier. Yeah.
So someone
And
asked about vector. What is vector? So again, it's specific to C++ only. It's kind of a dynamic array. So again, to learn all this, you'll have to select a language and then start studying data structures on that. So yeah, it's kind of a dynamic array, if I just precisely say it. And someone also asked, what is dynamic programming? As I already said in the interview, it's an optimization over recursion. So recursion can give you time limit exceeded for huge values of n. So you need to optimize it basically by storing the subproblem answers. Sorry for the technical questions, but yeah, let's move on. Yeah.
Even if we ask time to Vishnu Priya is asking this, even if we ask time to think, does it create a bad impression about us while we are thinking? No, I don't think. If you ask time to think, although if you think for, like, if you're sitting idle for 5 minutes and not telling the interviewer what you're doing, then obviously it does not leave a good impression. But it's always better that you take a minute, think about it, and then tell the interviewer what they are kind of expecting that.
Yeah. Okay. So one more question. I'm from mechanical. Which programming language should I learn first? As I said, choose one. So basically, you don't have to learn multiple languages. Choose one of the languages, and be it C++ or Java. Don't go for C. And if you feel that C++ and Java is very difficult for you, then you can go for Python also. But basically Python would be my second preference and not the first one, because there are a few things in Python which cannot be done.
Agreed.
Okay, so before we go, we just have a few things for you to keep in mind. So during an interview, you should be the person who is very, very confident, and you should have your independent attitude. You should be very confident about whatever you're saying, whatever you're thinking, and try to drive the technical discussion. It shouldn't be that the interviewer is trying to ask, what are you thinking? Oh, what do you think? How should we approach this problem? It shouldn't be the interviewer trying to figure out what is going on in your head. It should be the other way around, that you are telling everything and you are leading the discussion. And obviously try to solve the question without the hints from the interviewer. But if they give you hints, you're not able to solve it, then try to integrate the hints. Whatever the interviewer is giving you, try to understand what they're trying to tell, and then probably use that to get the solution. So listen very, very carefully to the interviewer, as Sranj had already mentioned initially. And basically what is tested is your problem solving skills, the way how you analyze a problem, the way you come up with different approaches, and then figure out which approach would be the one which has decent time and space complexity and will give you the proper answer for the constraints given. So your decision making skills are tested. So do keep all these things in mind. And suggestions, so keep learning each day. Like it shouldn't be that you're learning for 2 days, taking a break of 5 days and coming back. So basically software development or data structures and algorithms, it does not work like this. You have to be in sync, you have to keep practicing, and also have 4 to 5 mock interviews before your actual interviews, because in this you'll get to know, like, how are you performing, what are your weak areas. You'll analyze your mistakes. Some mentor or someone who is the interviewer is going to tell you where were you wrong, and then you can focus on improving them. And whenever you are doing questions, be it puzzles, be it anything, be it a lead code problem or any problem, time yourself when you're practicing. So it shouldn't be that you're taking 1 hour to solve an easy question. It shouldn't definitely be that, because that won't be appreciated neither in the online test nor in the interview. So time yourself, try to take as small time as possible. And obviously, before your actual online test or actual interview, see the previous year questions also, because that you can get from the portal, Cantilever portal. So basically, what will happen is you'll get to understand which are the common topics that are asked, what's the level of the questions, and maybe if you're fortunate enough, you will probably get the same question again. So definitely practice previous year questions. Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's about it. Do we have any other questions?
Okay, so I'm basically an EC stream girl. Actually, I'm very interested in core subjects, but I know a little of OOPS and Python. If I want to learn a coding language in depth, then choose which one. So basically, since you know object-oriented programming and you said you know Python, maybe you can start off with Python. And if you feel that you know object-oriented programming pretty well, then you can go for some C++ or Java also, because they are also based on the same concept. And that would be good. It won't take much time to learn one language, and basically you just need to know the concepts, and then you're going to learn eventually by doing questions, eventually by practicing. So you can, if you want, go for Python, but if you have some time, then maybe go for C++ or Java.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
so I can
yeah,
see we have few more questions. Sorry to interrupt. I think that we have few more questions that you can answer, but I also have questions for the students right here. So I'll be just submitting a poll to them. Just help me out, answer this question, guys, so that we can understand you better and customize it accordingly for the next even. Meanwhile, you can go through the questions. I can see there's a question. There are 3 questions that have come up from Ritvik Singh on the Q&A section. So you can just go through and whoever wants to answer can answer it. Meanwhile, I have just, posted the poll so that they can answer it. This is a question. They have been asking us so many questions. It's our turn to ask them some questions, right?
Yeah.
And also you can check out LinkedIn. We have few questions on LinkedIn posted as well. We have some few questions here. And guys, this offer is valid till, midnight. So grab it. We have the coupon code mentioned in the comment section. And we have few questions related to the course as well. Will this course help us if we are the 5th semester? Yeah, it can, because it is related to mock interview and aptitude, reasoning, everything is accumulated at one place. So yes, if you start preparing from your final semester, it should help you by your 8th semester, while the companies are coming here at your college. This should be helpful. So yes, this will be absolutely helpful. Someone has also asked, this question is directly to Drishti, I suppose, because Drishti has answered something related to that. Meanwhile, I'll post another poll for the students. I think I have so many questions for the students today. Okay, so I'll be posting the polls after you answer 2 or 3 more questions, because I think students are actually waiting to get them answered. So yeah, you can go ahead.
So one question that I see from Ritvik is, does including projects in the resume that are easily available on the internet make an impact on the interview process if we know everything about that project without knowing much about DSA or core CSE subjects? Now, since you're applying for a software development role, I'm assuming, so obviously you should know DSA and core CSE subjects, and also basically only include a project in your resume, even if it's simple. Do include it only when you know everything about it. You know ABC of it, and you know XYZ of it also. Because there will be a lot of questions. Why did you do this? Why was this model used? As I asked Sranj as well. What was the impact you created? So all these questions would be used. So try to only put those projects in your resume which you're very, very confident at.
and adding to what Drishti said, please in very simple terms, please include those projects which you have already done. Do
Yes.
not just copy paste things out of internet, because trust me, the interviewer is much more experienced than you. They know how, when you are faking a project and when you have actually done that. So if you have not done a project, it does not take long for you to do it. Just go, simply complete a project. That can be a big talking point in your interview as well.
Yeah, I see a few questions. So basically, why not Python? The reason being, Python is kind of slower than C or C++. The second thing is that it's not useful when you have some huge task or intensive task, because it consumes a lot of memory. It's an interpreted language. So that's why I said, but yeah, if you feel that you're very comfortable in Python, then please go ahead and do that. But if you are very, very new, then start off maybe with C++ or Java. Again, what's the problem C language? Like, what's the problem C language? Why can't we start study languages with C? So basically, you can definitely start, but let's say if you want to use a stack in C++, you directly have a STL. You'll just say stack int s, and you'll be declaring a stack. But in C, you will actually have to code the stack. you'll have to use probably arrays or linked lists and then use the stack. So you'll first have to create the stack and then use it. So sometimes to write a code, maybe which takes, let's say 10 lines in C++, it might take 40 lines in C. Now, again, if you, so basically, if again you have, like if you want to go for C, go for it, but you probably will have to write big codes. And in those big codes, finding out small mistakes would be difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a question by Abhijit, how to answer strengths and weaknesses question. So regarding the strengths and weaknesses question, obviously everybody is good at naming their strengths. I'm good at this, that, whatsoever. You can mention those. Regarding the weaknesses, I'll focus on this point, that it's okay to mention your weaknesses, but you should alongside prove with the fact that you are trying to improve upon it. That should always be there. See, for example, I used to say that I'm bad at time management, but lately I have been making a to-do list for me and a schedule for my day, and thus I'm getting better at it. Things like that. If you mention your weakness, but you should again tell them that, yeah, I am recovering from it. That is how
And
you
be honest.
tackle this.
Be
Yeah.
very, very honest.
Again, if you are faking it, everybody knows that if you are masking your strength as your weakness, that you have to be a very good salesman to pull that off, but not many. Most of the people are not able to. So it's honest to tell, see, this is my weakness, but I'm recovering, and this is how I'm recovering from it.
And the most cliche answer is, my weakness is that I'm perfect. That's absolute a big, big no.
Okay, thank you so much, Drishti, and thank you so much, Sranj. I think that I know how interviews are usually, conducted, but you have also teach the student how through this session that how do we implement that the implementation expect that we wanted has been actually seen in this session. So I would just like to quickly take the feedback from these students, like how they felt about it. I felt that yeah, you both and now I know the reason why are you placed at those company. You all are very good. You had a very good nice mock interview session. I would, if I ever have a company, would definitely hire you. Okay, so I'm just posting the poll. You can also vote Rishti and Shreyaj, because you also gave mock interviews, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so some students are asking that when would they receive the resume building toolkit? So after this session, directly after this session, all of them who have attended this event will get the resume toolkit on your mail. And if you do not get it on your mail address, just make sure you check your spam box, because sometimes it happens that it goes directly to the spam box, usually the ads. So just make sure you check your spam box. Okay, that's great, Harshvardhan. You are one of the lucky person who received the resume binding toolkit before attending this session. So I think this is a nice surprise for us as well. I thought we would be surprising you. Instead, you did. You surprised us. No worries. Everyone who did not get it by now will receive it by the end of the session. So just make sure you check your spam box and your inbox as well. And through you will get it on the email address that through which you registered for this event. So that is the email address we have. So make sure that you are checking that email address. Okay, so now I'm going to post another poll. So this is a poll where we are asking you to rate your experience on this session. So I think Shreyans and Drishti might be very excited to see the results of these polls coming up, right? I too got a resume toolkit. Sharmila Shayed, thank you so much for letting us know that you have received the toolkit. So everyone who have not received the toolkit, just go check your inbox. Maybe you might have received it by now, or we are making sure you will get it by the end of this event. And check your spam box. Might be you might have received it, but you are not able to find it out. Check your spam box, and go grab the offer that we are having, because it is going to end at midnight. So I don't want any one of you to miss on this opportunity, because I know being in college, getting a discount is like a huge deal. So yeah, I wouldn't leave any discount if I had received one in college, right, Drishti? So so yes, so this is a digital world. You will be able to study digitally by just sitting at your home right now, because it's not safe outside. So we are trying to get you placed by you being sitting at home, and we all are accumulating these courses for you. So what is the validity of the course? So this is valid for a year, I suppose. Yes, the course is valid for a year. So even if you want to prepare on this course like in January or February, or like after 2-3 months when you're in the next semester, you can actually do that. So just grab the coupon code, apply, take the offer, and use it whenever you want it, right? So it's like, take it home and then use it whenever you want. The comment is again, the link is again in the comment section. So just hurry up, grab the opportunity. Meanwhile, I would like to thank Jishti and Sranj for being on this event and making it so successful, and pouring in so much of knowledge. Like, there are some things that you hear, but you wanted to hear it from experts saying that. So I think that, yeah, students have been able to grab all the knowledge that you have given here. And I see so many students sticking around till the end for the surprise and just for you guys. So yeah, I would like to thank you guys for coming on this event. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And I hope to see you, the students would hope to see you in all the upcoming events.
Thanks a lot, everyone. And it was nice interacting.
Thank you, everyone. And I hope you get placed in very good companies as soon as possible in TCS. All the best, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so there are so many thank yous coming in. So I would like to say thank you to all of you guys once again. Good night. Good night, and see you once again, guys.